Okay, we've got 2 more left. I'm hoping that these are helpful to someone. This is the third eye chakra, center of the forehead. Its element is light, and it doesn't say, but I say sight. The color is blue. This can be related to being bipolar, being stuck. The note is A there on the triple clef. Has to do with the pituitary gland, controls the endocrine system, left brain hemisphere, left eye, nose, ears, sinuses, and parts of the nervous system. The crystals or stones associated is azurite, calcite, lapis lazuli, sodalite, and quartz. Jasmine, mint, mugwort, and star anise are helpful herbs and oils. The concepts are inner visions, intuition, insight, clairvoyance, imagination, extrasensory perception, idealism, concentration, peace of mind, projection of will, and manifestation. Positive statements: I'm perfectly attuned to my vision. I use my imagination for positive, creative purposes. I move towards my vision with clarity and purpose. I see statements are connected to this. Both blue and violet foods, it says. So, like grapes and blueberries. Okay. A balanced brow chakra indicates a strong visual sense, frequently gives an artistic ability or good skill with color. Also frequently indicates a stronger intuitive ability, at least a very good daydreamer. Something that I kind of wanted to interject here was that I had a really cool experience with the third eye chakra in my iboga sessions with the shaman there. They used a pygmy powder and put it on your forehead on the third eye chakra, and it was really cool because we could see right out of that third eye chakra, and so it was really cool to see that it's a real thing, a way to see, I guess, with our spiritual eyes, with our eyes actually closed, because we had our eyes closed and eye masks on, and we're able to see out of that. It was quite surprising and quite interesting to experience that. A blocked brow chakra, third eye chakra, is experienced as pressure in the head or as worry. This center can be inflamed when one stretches the intuition to see how things are going to come out with the need to make them okay. This center can also be slammed shut. I don't want to see. What if it's going to turn out bad? By shutting down here, one is shutting down their creativity and their ability to have insights. A closed third eye chakra indicates a tight mental grip on just how things should be. Frequently comes up with an attitude, can be the response to very difficult or traumatic surroundings, and an attempt to not see things as they are, can trigger nearsightedness. Indicates a current push, too expanded indicates a current push to force yourself to see all the possible results or outcomes of choices you are facing. While this could seem normal, this is actually stressed beyond anything helpful. This chakra is fine-tuned around the ages of 8 and a half to 14 years, has to do with body image and sexuality. Self-image, gender potentials and plans for the future, contains feelings about the self and self-image, plus feelings about our gender and its capabilities. Era of sexual development and our masculine or feminine nature, origins of the abilities to register and establish the soul's vision of our life. While our bodies are beginning to mature sexually, this chakra is busy recording the familial and social standards set for men and women. So this is very important. This is why it's so frustrating to me, the things that are taught in schools to these susceptible ages about sex and sexuality. We are emotionally vulnerable during the development period, and tend to personalize these messages, causing sexual identity crises. If we are blocked in this area, we could have problems with really imagining ourselves as worthy of the good things in life. At age 9, we believe that dreams can come true. Hopes and dreams for the future begin to surface. If things don't happen in the way they expect, they may choose to believe that nothing works out right for me. Beliefs are determined about whether or not I can have what I want. We should help the 9-year-old understand that what they got was perfect or good enough, and they can have whatever they want. Okay, so if something difficult happens at age 9, helping them to see the positive, the good, the things that they can do with that experience to come out of it good and even better. Okay, 10 and 11, responsibility. They make decisions about responsibility. Take on more responsibility. Confusion about boundaries, roles, and responsibilities in relationships. Looking at mom and dad's relationship, making decisions about men and women's roles. Try to take on mom and dad's responsibilities. When processing, create clarity about responsibility. So when you're processing this age as an adult, going back to the 11 or 10-year-old. Age 12 is actually related to birth. You relive your birth issues. If there was anything that happened at that time, it might come up again and it might be kind of confusing. Independence and freedom, and fears about the body beginning to change. At age 13, the adult ego begins to form. The body continues to change, another huge transition spiritually and physically. Age 13 can be directly connected to age 2 again. Veil closes. So there's different levels of veil closure, and 13 is kind of the final veil closure for most people. And so it can feel like God just completely shut himself out from our lives. Self-esteem at this age is generally carried on to adulthood. The main focus becomes what others think of them. Boys can show up with anger towards mom and start to pull away. Usually do not know how to language or express what is happening to them. The orange chakra is beginning to develop. With that comes all the issues linked to this chakra. Okay, so the body changes in the orange chakra area with the hormones and such. Double-mindedness, separation between mind and heart. Questions their relationship with God, and may struggle with spiritual teachings that have been taught to them from childhood. Watching marriage and observing who does what in the marriage, adult ego begins. That's kind of a repeat. Sorry about that. Pituitary gland is connected to this chakra. Pituitary gland can be helped with bee pollen, an amino acid for OCD. Several amino acids, I believe, can help with OCD. The emotional connection to the pituitary gland would be continually picturing ill health or sickness, feelings of constant unhappiness and never satisfied. An imbalance with this gland can be linked with pessimism and feeling like a constant recipient of bad luck or misfortune, and also not being able to see good in all things. Cannot measure one's progress. Hypothalamus, a portion of the brain positioned below the thalamus that functions as an automatic nerve center and regulates the pituitary gland, regulates sleep and time, and is known as the father gland. The hypothalamus governs pituitary and pineal gland, which in turn governs the endocrine system. The emotions connected with the hypothalamus include issues with feeling separated from God and loved ones, resistance to the veil or the energy that makes it so we cannot remember where we were before we came here to earth, feeling like I have forgotten my purpose or my reason to be here, feelings of rage, insecurity, sadness, and anxiety. Nasal cavity. Emotions connected to the nasal cavity and to the nose include feeling sorry for the self-pity, or whining. Nosebleeds relate to feeling overlooked. Runny nose, crying on the inside, wanting help or running away from unwanted responsibility. Stuffy nose, not accepting your worth, and also a desire for love.